Sports Show. This is a really interesting one, mate. We like to get across all the sports here in South Australia. We haven't had this one in for quite a while, mate. We're talking about the ADCA Go-Karts. In the dirt, mate. Got to get up some speed. So we thought, let's go to the top of the tree, mate. Young fella Cam Brooks and his dad, Paul Brooks, in the studio with us. Thanks for coming in, fellas.
Yeah, thanks.
Mate, we'll start with you, mate, because you're the driver. We'll get to the pit crew in a minute. For you, mate, it's been a pretty good year. It has been, mate. Don't be shy. You don't have to say how good you are. I'll build you up. So this is where he sat last year, viewers. Number one in the Northern Territory in the juniors. Number one in WA. Number two in South Australia. He's jumped up a class this year to go against the big boys, and he's doing it pretty well. So, Dad, let's go to you, mate.
Yeah.
He's driving pretty well, isn't he?
He is, mate. He's, straight off the bat, straight in the seniors. He was, when they first start, once they move up to seniors, the first 3 meetings have to start rear field so they can find their way in. 2 of the 3 meetings, he finished on the podium, starting rear field, so he really impressed.
Dirt karts, mate. Most people go dirt karts, they just associate that straight up with the dirt. That compared to, say, go-karting at Taylor and Bend, what's the big difference other than the track?
Yeah, well, with bitumen karts, you obviously have slick tyres, which are normally quite sticky, and with bitumen racing, tyres are very important and you need to replace them quite frequently, whether you're going out for practice days, you need new tyres for practice, you need new tyres for a race meeting every time you go and race. Whereas on dirt, the tyres are they're still quite soft, but they're grooved and they last quite a bit longer. So in terms of cost, on dirt, you probably go through about 3 sets of tyres a season, so it's a lot more affordable when you look at the tyres.
Paul, there's a fair bit of racing too, isn't there? I was just looking at the program, at your program. There's a lot of racing. There doesn't seem to be a lot of rest here. You seem to be going, up at 4 a.m, off you go here and off you go there and whatever. A lot of racing. There's a lot going on.
Oh, look, the ACA Dirt Kart Association is doing really well at the moment. There's been a lot of growth. There's a lot of clubs throughout SA. There's a fair few clubs over in WA as well. They've actually got the Western Australian titles happening this weekend over there. But we try to race every weekend to try to get Cam out on the track as often as possible for his development and just so we love it as a family. So it's great sport.
And it is a family thing, isn't it?
Well, I'm wondering if Cam had a choice, mate. He started driving when he was 4, got into it at 7. He's now 15. It's a multi-generation. It's a big family tree you come from for drivers, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. So my uncle was a speed car, sprint car driver in Darwin, Warren Eakins. My other uncle is a speedway rider for, in England. He's you're right, buddy. It's all good.
In England.
Which is a rider? Did you say speedway rider?
Yeah, speedway rider.
Speedway riders.
So solos, 500cc.
They're brave boys. They're brave boys.
Hey, mate, tell us about the jump from last season to this season for you.
To be honest, I didn't really notice too much of a difference. It's the same, driving, just a bit faster, a bit quicker reactions. Actually, in my first meeting off P's in the senior class, I started out at 2. Got a decent start, but fell back to 3rd. Went for a move up the inside. Didn't stick quite well, but ever since then, I've been pretty good.
Oh, I'm amazed at being humble, mate. So they had the Outlaw Classic just recently in Angas, number 1. Number 1. Avoided a couple of crashes to become number 1. So when that's unfolding in front of you, I'm interested in this from the driving perspective, mate. So you're trying to get in front and you got to pick your path to get through. At the same time, do you get that feeling like this guy's going to lose it? There could be a crash happening here, so I've got to come back?
Sometimes, well, in some situations, like when you get those 2 starts in a row, you sort of pick up whether people are trying to pass, be aggressive into the first corner to try and make up spots for the race, or just trying to survive the first corner.
How important is the first corner then? If they're gun ho,
it's half the race.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's where you've had your problem. That's where what I read. There was a couple of incidents on the first turn that stopped the race. Is that someone being over-aggressive? Is that someone just going a bit early? Because it happens in supercars, it happens everywhere. That first turn is the one. If they get through there, everything's terrific. But if you don't, if you make a blue, and there's a lot of aggression, isn't there, early in the track, early in the race?
Well, for me, I started off pole. I knew everyone was aggressive behind me trying to get spots, so I got the first 2 starts. It was pretty hard. The person next to me was pushing me quite a lot. But on the first start, I think it was a bit of a pop. The first corner, restarted, second start. Red flag, I went like 4 wide in the first corner. I didn't see it since I got the start. Lucky I did, but yeah.
Mate, so not only the pit crew do you handle that, family's all involved, the grandparents are involved, so there's a lot involved. I'm interested as the dad side, sitting there going, I've just watched a pile up and then I've watched another pile up. Are you quite relaxed? Are you comfortable with where Cam is with that?
Oh, look, Cam is a very smooth and generally clean driver. He stays out of trouble. So, you can't help but get nervous and a little bit worried for your son, but yeah, he does very well out there. So, yeah, it's all pretty good. Probably his mum probably worries a bit more than I do. My wife Sam, she's at every meeting pretty much as well, and Cam's Nana and Papa come along and support him as well.
Nothing better. Watching your son or your daughter or whatever in a sport, you do get nervous. There's no doubt you would be jumpy every time he straps it on.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm interested for you. You get there, pull up, driver's getting ready, cart comes out. What's the fine tuning before you let it out on the track?
Oh, just like when you get there, you're fueling up, setting the tyre pressures, make sure you got the right gearing, you lubricate the chain and sprocket, just check over a few things, just make sure it's all ready, prime up the carby, make sure it's ready to fire up, and
Is that your job?
That's my job. Cameron's starting to get more involved. Especially between the meetings, the cleaning, the prep, maintenance. So Cam's doing more.
Is it a big job, maintenance on race day in between races?
Well, when we're racing every weekend,
it there's been 30 to 40 races this year. There'll be more next year.
Yeah, well, sorry, go on.
No, sometimes we do 2 classes as well, which we're very busy with
2 carts.
Yeah, 2 carts.
Is this an expensive sport?
It is expensive comparatively to other motorsports. It's quite cheap, but when you're racing as often as we do, a big cost is just the travel, the diesel to get from home to the racetracks and so on. It all adds up throughout the year.
Sponsors, mate, at this age, they're difficult to attract. You got a couple of good ones.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've picked up a few good sponsors along the way. So Advanced Clean Air is our main sponsor. So it's a company out of Darwin, but also on the East Coast and the Gold Coast. Some family support as well. So Bullseye Trading and Damon Cleaning Services. They're both family businesses that support us. So uncles and aunts and so on.
Cam, what's your goal, mate? Obviously, we're into racing now. Are we looking at the V8s, the supercars, or is this a natural progression for you? Is it something you're looking at?
Yeah, definitely. And my end goal is probably to either get into sprint cars or V8 supercars, but to do that, you'd probably have to progress through XLs and wingless.
Yeah. A
so
lot of work to do.
Involved.
A lot of work to do. It sounds like you're on the right track, mate, for sure.
Dad needs to win the lotto for that.
Exactly right. Exactly
just quickly, because we've got to wind it
Exactly.
up. Bordertown, the Australian champs, not too far away. How are we tracking for that?
Yeah, so we've got the Aussie champs at the end of October in Bordertown. So there's over 500 nominations for the event. The nominations closed last night, actually.
Okay.
Cam's going to be running in the 2 classes, KT Light, KT Medium. So we've just been busy prepping, so getting engines ready and things like that. So we'll be working on setup. So we're in a pretty good spot, I think.
Good luck, guys.
It's going to be tough. In these 2 classes, I think one class he has 60, the other class he has 50 in each class. So
we'll look forward to getting you back, mate, at the end of October and hearing that you finished first in those races. So
exactly.
not much pressure on you at all. Hey, appreciate your time, boys. Stay safe. Stay with us too. Still plenty to come.